Okay, here we go. This is the DJI Mini5 Pro, a hot July flight. A Little Dragon production. And here we go. And we've got our landing pad, takeoff spot. We're getting ready to fire up the props here. She's found her spot. Let's take off. Everything seems to be all right. Okay, we're going to bring her up, 15, 20 feet. 21 feet, whatever it is DJI recommends, so it can find its way back if you have to use return to home or want to use return to home, use a precision landing. So we'll see about that. We're up for a short flight today over the wildlife area in the park. And here we go. Can't go too far. Lots of trees in front of us, so signal is not going to be very reliable in this area, but we'll take it up here and give her a short flight. Beautiful day. It's about 90 degrees out. See a few clouds, cumulus clouds. We'll get up to height here, and then we'll just go for a little run around the park, so to speak. Wind is about 15 miles an hour now. I want to say one thing. I had an update on the Mini5 Pro, and it did change my expo settings, so things are a little bit touchier on this flight than they usually are. I need to go back and reset those settings. I can tell you sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't on the updates. There's a raptor house there in the corner of that field right below me on the right. There it is. Sometimes I'll get an update and it won't change any of my settings. Other times I'll go through and I'll find several things that the update seems to have messed with. So my advice, check your settings whenever you do an update. Okay, we're going to fly down here and look at this pond I was catfishing in earlier this year. I told you guys about. It's full of lily pads and moss now, so not much good fishing now. It's just the lake, it's been so hot I think it's turned over on itself. But look at the colors in these lily pads. I'll try to zoom in for you a little bit here. Kind of neat looking. Very little pond. It's stocked with channel catfish, but when it gets this hot, there we go. Look at those lily pads. Ain't that neat? Look at the colors in them. Pinks and reds and greens. Anyway, just wanted you to see that little shot of the pond there. Like I said, the Department of Conservation usually stocks catfish in it. They did once this year already, but they get fished pretty heavily, and they're not real big channel cat. They're pan size, so they're good eating for frying. Not much for deep frying, but for putting them in the skillet, it's a pretty good meal. Anyway, we'll fly down this way a little ways here. This is the parking lot for the wildlife area in the park, and I was up there, but they haven't done any mowing on to any of the trails and stuff, and had a pair of shorts on and didn't want to get a lot of ticks and chiggers on me, so I decided I'd drive down to our lodge and launch from there. So that's what we did. And this is just some neighbor shots of land right around the park property. This guy's got a real tough life here. He's got a nice long driveway, that's for sure. And we'll fly over here, and there's the power station down there in the corner. There's a little pond in there too that sometimes has some fish in it, but it dries up quite a bit too in the hot weather, so not going to fly down around it. We're already getting breaking up on the signal because of the trees are just absorbing and all, and I've got trees in front of me, probably about 40, 50 feet in front of me, that definitely blocking my signal out. Not bad on the DJI tilt, gimbal tilt. So we'll spin around here. It's about as far as the Mini5 Pro will go in this area. We'll take her here and we'll push it a little teeny bit further, but not much. Now I'm going to spin around here. Now the signal was getting real weak. I was going down to, you could lose connection, interference, and all that other stuff. So what we did right there was we hit a return to home. and we're going to just see how accurate this is. Now, I don't think we're going to bring it all the way back on return to home. We'll probably take it out, and we have a little bit more battery left, so we'll use some of that up before we go. Anyway, that's a long road there going up to the parking area that we just passed over in the park. It's over 700 acres of land here, and they have a whitetail hunt with bow and arrow here every year. The Department of Conservation does to help manage the amount of deer on the property. So they know the carrying capacity of the land, and they try to harvest enough deer to make it so the deer aren't foraging for food that's not there. And we're on the way back here. We're going to come back to the lodge area, and then I think we'll go for another short flight once we get up here. We'll see. Following this road back up, and there's the pond we flew over on the left. You can't hardly see it. There it is, cut out in all those trees. And there's a nice lake up here on the right. That's private property up there. The guy owns a nice hunk of land there. He's got his own lake with his own dock on it and everything. Ooh, I'd like to wet a line in that little hunk of water there, but don't have access to that, so won't be doing any of that. I was actually on my way to go fishing, and I had the drone with me, and I thought, you know what? Let's put it up in the air. It was getting kind of hot. It was, like I said, it was at least 90 degrees already. So I said, well, we'll do that. And we'll come back to the fishing at a later date. So the DJI tilt isn't too bad on the horizon. Just tilted ever so slightly. Not bad. So we're making our way back. There's another small pond there. Usually there's some turkeys out in this field. There's 3 or 4 that live right in this chunk of woods here. And sometimes I'll catch them out there with a gobbler with a hen and newbie strutting, but nothing today. I didn't see a single turkey today. I did see 3 deer earlier, but saw a whitetail mama and her 2 young'uns. And they were just munching away on some greenery. So here we're coming back to the lodge area now. And we're going to get above the lodge, and we're going to go for another short flight, I think. I'm going to check the battery here. And it looks like we've got plenty of battery left. I think we got about 60%, maybe a little bit more of battery left. So what we'll do is bring it on down here, and we'll go ahead and take her out again, I think, for another short flight. Here we go. Coming down slow. Okay. We'll pivot to the left here, yaw a little bit, and I see something out in the distance. One of my favorite things. So out we go. Now you can see all the trees between me and this water tower. So I gotta gain a little altitude here, just to keep from losing signal, and I started to lose signal about the time I got there. But in the summertime, the trees, it's amazing. They act like a sponge. The leaves on the trees tear up your RF signal, something fierce. So good clearings, like this field is good, but like I said, I got the trees within 50 feet of me, so it has an effect on them. We're going to see if we can get down here to this water tower real quick. Like I said earlier, I did an update on the Mini5 Pro, and it changed a lot of my settings, controller settings. And it changed my Expo settings, which are how fast your controller reacts to input, basically. So it changed that back probably to the default, which is way too touchy. Which means you just push a tiny bit on the stick and you get a big shift in the drone. So for videos, I like to set that back a ways to where it takes more stick movement in order to get reaction from the drone. And it's a fine balance. You got to be careful, especially in your forward flight and stuff like that. You got to be able to stop quick and stuff like that. But I'm talking about in the pitch and yaw of the drone, being able to turn it, you know, as slowly as you need to. Like I'm doing a manual rotation here, and it's very, very difficult because I am just laying on the sticks ever so slightly, and the reaction of the drone is exaggerated. So, but I think I did a fairly decent job here. It'd be a lot better once I get the gain and expo settings set back the way I want them. Nice water tower here. And we'll just flip around the side of it and then we'll head back. There's a nice clear cut. Boy, I see a lot of deer come out in that clear cut. I've walked that a lot of times from the park. It's a nice walk down through there. This time of year it's just filled with ticks and chiggers, though. You're going to get eat up something bad. Even with good spray on, they seem to find their way on you, especially the ticks do. Okay, we're going to slide off here the water tower. Look up a little bit. We say we were wanting to go. I'm going to head back this way, head back towards home. Everything's still good and green and hot. Middle of July. Had a good 4th. Didn't burn anything down. Not too many people were injured by fireworks, but there were some. I learned my lesson when I was 14. Had an M80 go off in my hand. Removed part of one of my fingers. And blew my eardrum out and blew the shirt off my chest. It hurt pretty bad, so I don't like firecrackers anymore, except when I can get away from them. I would not hold one in my hand for love nor money no more. That was when I was 14, so that was a good 60 years ago. Anyway, here we go. Coming over this land here. There's about 700 acres that this Midwest Research Institute owns. They grow supplements, stuff to put in supplements, I'll put it that way. Good chunk of land there, and they've got a couple ponds there that I'd love to fish in, but they won't let anybody do that unless you work there, so not going to get to do there. Now this area right down below, in the center of the screen now, lots of deer in that area come out in that bed. It's like a little bedding area for does. That's on their property too. Now we're back on park property, heading over park property to the lodge. Pretty good flight today. Couldn't go too far. Like I said, too many trees. You can see those trees right out in front of where I'm at on the back deck of the lodge, blocking a lot of my signal. So we'll bring her in. We're going to probably put it on return to home here, and let's see if we can get a precision landing. See if she remembers exactly where she took off from. Take a picture. I see where she needs to go, but there we go. Let's see if she can find it. And that's a metal roof on top of our lodge there, so it has a great impact on signal when you're walking around it and stuff like that. You can't even get any cellular or anything inside it, hardly. It's just very bad. Okay. There's that little orange dot on that table. That's where I took off from. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this. Just a short flight. We'll be having some more content for you soon, hopefully. And like I always say, treat others the way you want to be treated. Follow that golden rule. I think it's the best for everybody. And stay safe out there, whatever you're doing. If you're flying, have lots of fun doing it, too. Got to have fun in this hobby. Here we come. Look at that. Looks like she's going to be right on. Camera up in a second. As soon as she picks her spot, there's camera up. Take care. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again, and hopefully very soon. And here we go. Boom. Thank you.